I just want to point out that I don't have like the whole. I'm not that guy. I can't do like the creeps and pasta bullshit where I'm like, yes. Like I don't fucking have an accent. I'm just a black guy from nowhere, and this shit is funny to me. As he ran up and down, the hallways, as he went further down the hallway, because that's where we are. Like in the second part of the story is that everybody shitting and pissing on each other in this swinging Halloween club because they nasty. Yeah, nasty.
They nasty, yeah, nasty.
So he went further down the corridor. He found a light switch. He could tell that these rooms had been used before. He couldn't quite tell how long ago they had been used, but he could tell that this area of the house, I guess you call it at this point, I guess that's what it is, had not been as cleaned, had not been as meticulously cleaned as the earlier parts of the corridor. He found a doorknob and he opened it. He walked in to the small 8x8 room. That's either 8x8 or 10x10. He walked into a small room that was the exact same measurements as the other one I said before. Totally the same, no different. Except this one was not clean. This one did not have white sheets. This one had shit everywhere. There were smears of fecal matter all over the floor, all along the wall. He noticed that there was even some on the light switch. The light switch he had used to be able to see this horrific monstrosity of a domicile that he had just walked inside of. There were piles of shit in the corner. The air in the room was so thick it was hard to breathe. Before he turned to run quickly out of the nightmare that he had walked into, he could see that the piles of shit had been there so long they had started to sprout mushrooms. There was fungus growing. Fungus, I say! There was fungus growing out of the piles of what he could only assume to be human feces.
But feces, nonetheless.
Oh, it was shit. It was shit, nevertheless. He quickly came out of the. He stumbled backwards out of the room, and he bumped into something, thinking it was a wall. No, it was not a wall. It was a human body. It wasn't a dead one. It was just a human body. And it was Ashley. He turned around and said, "My friend, what you looking for, man? What you looking for?" He's like, I just want to get my wife and want to get the fuck out of here." He's like, "Oh, you're looking for your pretty little wife? Oh, are you? Well, she's right here. You just merely skipped over her. She was only 2 rooms down."
What has he done?
What do you mean?
Ashley's changed.
Oh shit, I died. What the fuck? Oh, because I'm kind of like, you ever seen Tales from the Hood?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the way the dude talks in that movie. Sorry, that's kind of what I'm doing. Actually, it's not that, but it's the guy who plays that character. Something Brown, Clancy Brown, I think is Clarence something. I don't forget his name, but that's how he kind of talks in Half Baked. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, fuck it. If you've seen the movie, you kind of get it. If you don't, fuck it. That's where we are. Right. That's where we are now. It's like she's right here, my friend. Yeah, she's still Ashley, but for whatever reason, his sinister has come out, and because he can tell that David's clearly figured excuse the pun. David's figured shit out.
Uh-huh.
And so he takes him to. Ashley leads David down only 2 rooms on the other side of the hall. It says, "Your wife is just in here. Her partner for the evening has left her. They have finished their deed, and she seems to be quite pleased." He's like, "What the fuck did you do?" He swings the door. That was kind of emotional, wasn't it?
For the rest of the story, yeah, it's very out of place and emotional.
So he swings the door open and he sees his wife laying on a bed. Shit stuffed into her mouth. She is staring catatonically at the ceiling. The smell of It's the same smell as in every other room, except this time the very familiar scent of her aroused cunt is in the air. It's like that smells. It's like basically that's basically what's happened. Like I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened exactly. But she's got a mouthful of shit, and it's like when I say a mouthful of shit, I mean like imagine, if you will. She's laying on her back and there's shit coming out of her mouth. Like it's so full that there's too much. Does that make any sense? And it's just like, and she's not. Does that make sense? She's not. That's all I got. She's not.
I think that's good.
Okay. Yeah, he goes over to her and he tries to shake her awake. He tries to get her attention. But nothing's working. He would attempt mouth to mouth, but he doesn't think he loves her that much. Because he can only assume that the shit in her mouth is not her own. And even if it were, I mean, come on. Who loves their wife that much? David tries to roll her over onto her stomach, and he frantically pats it, like slaps her on the back, trying to get her to vomit, trying to get her to expel the fecal matter from within her gullet. But Ashley says, no, my friend, it is too late. She is ours now. You can either join her or you can leave her. I don't really have anything for the rest of that. I mean, that's just a very fucking sinister thing. And as he's staring at Ashley like, you fuck, I will kill you. He feels a hand on his shoulder. A soft, gentle feeling on his shoulder. God damn it. Oh, okay. He feels a hand on his shoulder and he's like, he turns to see her eyes, her bloodshot eyes staring back at him. The foulest stench on her breath. The poop, the dookie, the shiza is between. It is. It's like it is mixed with the saliva and it's turned.
You know the foamy hedgehog thing?
I was trying to avoid that. I was trying my best to avoid that. Like it was in my head, but I didn't say it out loud. But thank you for taking us down that road. You fuck.
You're welcome.
The fecal matter, the saliva, all of it starting to ooze from her mouth. Like so much ooze from my mouth.
So much ooze from my mouth.
What the fuck? Oh, wrong button. And then I missed. Fucking fantastic. David, you love me, right? Cause that's natural. I feel at this point. David, you swore we'd spend our lives together. You said you'd do anything to make sure I was happy. I left my life behind. No, we left our lives behind. You said you weren't happy either. And I thought I was. Until we came here tonight, I realized what true happiness was. David, are you with me or are you not with me? David gave in. He never was one for peer pressure. He never had the gall to stand up, and he did love her. She was the first woman he had. God, fucking fat fuck. She was the first woman he had ever. She was the first woman he had ever let eat his butt. That's some serious shit.
Again,
no pun intended.
No pun intended.
He didn't think he could just simply leave her behind. And he said, no, I do. I love you and I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you're happy. She raised her hand, her shit-covered hand, and she put it toward his face. And she said, David, it'll only take a moment. And she reached into his mouth. And he felt the thick Play-Doh like substance between on his tongue as it slid over his palate. As he gagged, she only forced her. Okay, y'all gonna have to kill Roadhog because I'm dealing with the ads. What the fuck was that? Okay. He tried to gag, but when he did, she only forced her fingers even further down his throat. He thought that the smell from the rooms before could never be topped. No matter how long he lived, no matter what horrors he would be exposed to, he thought nothing could top that. But he was so very wrong, because he had never had anyone shove shit down his throat before. It was a new experience to be at its finest. It was a brand new experience. It wasn't. He rated it 0 out of 10. He wouldn't do it again. Like, it wasn't something he felt was necessary.
Like he could have went his entire life and not experienced it.
Not experienced it. Yeah, it was one of those things. Why was no one shooting him?
I was trying.
David's eyes closed. And in a flash, he found himself waking up. It was the morning of October 31st. When the fuck is October? When is fucking Halloween? Halloween ain't on the 31st, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. So this video won't go up next week. It'll go up in like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks exactly.
Either way.
Yeah. So he woke up on the morning of Halloween, October 31st. He looked out the window to see Ashley. He was working on putting the finishing touches on his ghoulish display on his lawn. He looked at his beautiful wife and thought to himself. He said out loud, "I don't think we should go. Now, I have to remember that this microphone stand is attached to the microphone, so hitting it is a bad idea." What do you think? What do you think, white boy?
I give it a not so solid poop out of 10.
So it's kind of wet. It's a little wet shit.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions? Because God knows if you do, it's probably not. It's for the best to not ask them. But I want to know what they are.
I think I'm okay.
You think you got everything you need to know out of that?
I think I've gotten everything that story could.
It's gonna give
me.
Okay, my question. Okay, I have questions. Okay. I feel like if I wrote that, if I sat down and I really wrote that, I feel like it could be almost entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, it was entertaining. It was a train wreck, but it was entertaining.
To you. I mean, sometimes it's called okay, I just realized this is a Crappypasta. That was not intentional.
Yeah.
That wasn't intentional. I didn't intend for the Crappypasta to literally be a Crappypasta. That was not intentional. So yeah, of course, like
the moral of the story, I guess, don't go to weird people's Halloween parties, and especially if they dress up as Cammy from fucking Street Fighter.
That's probably my favorite part of the story.
That a man was dressed up as Cammy from Street Fighter.
Mostly because, yeah, not that it was a man dressed up as Cammy, but the fact that the dude was just dressed as Cammy, like almost like completely unaware, like how weird it was. But he was just like, "This is what I'm wearing for Halloween." Like,
I mean, of all things that were weird about him, I think that was the least one.
Really? Because, like, keep in mind, this dude's like in his mid-40s. So I think that's weird as shit.
Again.
Now, if anybody has made it this far and is like, yeah, man, I wanted to hear this bullshit all the way to the fucking end. I don't have any answers as to why this doo-doo is zombie doo-doo, because ultimately that's what is to be gathered from it, in case you didn't. Because I'm doing the thing that most...
consume the doo-doo,
Yeah, like once the doo-doo is in you, yeah, like you become like of a hive mind of the people of that neighborhood. Like that's how that works. Is like once like the dude is like, you know, like in The Walking Dead, we all have the virus inside of us that makes us come back to life. So basically, this shit is like once it's inside you, like yeah, it just it attaches you to the hive mind, and so basically, you know, here's a little bit more lore to this story. The hive mind in this scenario works like this. Um, they feel they can share thoughts. It's hive mind, so they can share each other's thoughts. They can share thoughts and communicate without necessarily needing to communicate. But the thing is, the closer they are, the better it works. It's almost like a Wi-Fi signal. So they get together every Halloween to do this, and they enjoy it, but they enjoy it like 1,000 times more because they're all within a certain range. So like it's like 7 couples, so that's 14 people. So every time, so like 7 women together in a hive mind when they're all having sex, it's 7. It's like the power of 7 orgasms, or you feel 7 different orgasms because you feel the sex that everybody else is having, and same goes with the men. And so it's beneficial to them to introduce more people into the hive. Because basically, in a weird way, it's mostly about the sex, like, and other things, but mostly the sex, because this doesn't really, it's just not useful in any other capacity. That's like that's it. But and why Halloween? I don't know.
Does the poop really add to it?
Well, I can't explain. I think it's like almost necessary, but it's not like a choice. It's like I don't know how to word it, but it's not like oh yeah, I love getting shit on and like rubbing dookie all over me. It's more like it's almost like it's like not a choice. You know what I mean? It's just like it's part of the hive mind because like the like because it's in the shit. The thing that like gives them this ability is in the shit. So the shit just kind of heightens everything and makes it like work better. And it's like, like having to take like an aspirin every couple of hours to, I don't know, fuck something. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's like just constantly like once a year they get together and just have this like shit fest. This shit, the piss is for fun. They were pissing on each other for the fuck of it, but they were shitting on each other because they enjoyed it, and it was a large part of what they did. What?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, it sounded like you were snickering. So that's. I hope next year's is a lot shorter, because I don't remember what the one I remember what the one was from last year, but that was completely random. And like that one kind of got started because we were listening to Creepypastas, and I just kind of ran with it from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's.
By all means, I think this was disjointed, but it was entertaining.
It was massively disjointed because if you've watched any of my videos, like my attention span is complete garbage. So it is what it is. But if you can get the story. Like, if you can get the story together and use it, then I think it should be fairly entertaining, but I could be wrong. I don't fucking know. I think, again, if someone was to, like, write it down, like, write down the bullet points and, like, structure it and turn it, like, submit it, for fuck's sake. Like, because Mr. Creepypasta does Crappypastas from time to time just for shits and giggles. No pun intended. So, maybe he...
Okay, here's the thing. If someone were to rewrite this a little better to where it's like more cohesive and turn the shit into blood, it would be an actual creepypasta.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm proper. It'd be proper. Because the blood would totally, even if it isn't blood, like if it's flesh, like if they legit, like, if instead of there being a bowl to defecate in, there was like a plate, with like a very like a scalpel, and like they would like take like chunks of flesh from like a small chunk of flesh from a certain part of their body and then consume it together and then fuck, cause there has to be sex. Like it'd be a proper creep. It'd be a good story at the very least, in my opinion. I still think as is because because I forget the dude's name. Unsettlingstories.com. like the ones with the fucking mushrooms and shit, and like the girls whose like labia wouldn't stop fucking growing, like that shit. Like that's kind of the air I was going for, as I wanted it to feel unsettling. I didn't want you to feel like, oh, it's so scary. No, I wanted you to feel grossed the shit out.
Yeah, because this is more of a gross out story than like full on creepy. Like these people are fucking disgusting.
Yes, and I mean, again, you'd have to make the decision, because I don't even know if it's real, because he woke up. You know,
yeah, like none of it really happened.
For all I know,
like for all he knows, that he'll just go to the party and everything be fine.
But he could be very wrong about that. But yeah, that's a story for this year. If you
whether you like it or not, I mean, if you're here, you took it. So
yeah, if you've made it this far, you took it. You've taken more of it than you probably should have. But here's the thing: if you made it this far, and you want me to freestyle another bullshit ass, fuck ass story, then by all means, I have to learn to stop touching the microphone. By all means, leave a suggestion for a story in the comment. Like, give me a base. Give me something to expand the story on, and because I will always rope him into this shit. We will freestyle a story. And I do mean freestyle. Like for this, I basically came up with the base idea of Dookie. That's where I went. And we'll do it for your viewing pleasure. For free, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Go check out, it's an app called Cameo. Go check it out and have fun with that. See y'all next time. Peace.